Well, New Jersey Transit train tickets from Penn Station to MetLife Stadium for World Cup matches are on sale. As of today, they are cheaper than previously announced. New Jersey Governor Mike Sherrill says that a round-trip ticket will now cost $98, which is a couple bucks down from $105, thanks to added sponsorships and donations. Fares were originally $150.
And if you're taking a bus, the New York-New Jersey World Cup Host Committee has slashed round-trip fares from $80 to $20 for those traveling from 3 Manhattan locations to MetLife Stadium. 8 games are scheduled to be played at the stadium, including the championship match.
And with soccer interest exploding across the 5 boroughs, soccer leagues are asking the Mamdani administration to keep the lights on in city parks past the current 10 p.m. cutoff. But organizers say despite weeks of begging, they have not gotten very far.
Joining us now is Tarek Pertew. He's a founder of NYC Footy, one of the leagues pushing to keep the lights on past 10. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you both. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. First of all, Mayor Mamdani was a member for 15 seasons.
He was, yeah. I think he hung his cleats up during his mayoral run, but he played us for 15 seasons. We helped him produce a tournament a few years ago when he was an assembly member. And then we did a tournament for him called the Cost of Living Classic recently, so he's active.
So he knows it's important. Have you been able to talk to him about this?
I've been trying to get through. He's obviously got a lot on his plate, but he does have a team. He's got the World Cup team. I've been in regular contact with them, and there's a narrative that's been working its way through the administration. I do think 5 minutes with Mayor Mamdani would help him understand, and we could probably get things.
Okay, I mean, you got a couple of his teammates that must have his cell phone on speed dial.
I have a cell phone.
Okay,
yeah,
so
but I'm afraid to use it, if I'm being honest.
But this is the thing. This is the thing. You're dealing with a mayor who clearly loves doing this and did it for so many years with you guys. I really do believe you should pick up the phone call and pick up the phone and actually give him a call.
I might take your advice. That's actually interesting. Yeah, I always thought maybe it'd be a little bit too invasive. He's has other top priorities.
I'm
but
sure he
I
does.
do think it would make a difference for New Yorkers for sure.
But look, you're coming at a time where you have this massive soccer tournament like the World Cup coming here, and then you have interest spilling outside of that, including NYC Footy and people wanting to play longer, bringing more people in. So this is a perfect storm for you to dial, text, do what you got to do.
Yeah, I would be servicing my community best, I think, if I did take that step. I appreciate it. I'll take your advice, actually.
Okay, so tell us what you're looking to get done.
So the biggest thing is that the New York City does have a number of parks, but so few actually have lights. So, of course, when the sun sets, games are off. And that's a big problem, especially for people that are trying to have soccer be a part of their routine after work, for instance. And then those fields that do have lights, albeit few, they've recently reduced the hours from 11 p.m. to 10 p.m., and that had a real meaningful impact on the communities that were relying on later play. So keeping the lights on later, every hour counts, so keeping the lights on later would make a big difference. I think investing in temporary lighting solutions on fields that currently don't have lights would unlock thousands of hours, so you're talking an impact on tens of thousands of New Yorkers that are currently wanting to play but are sitting on the sidelines. Okay,
so when you talk about keeping these lights on longer or adding additional lights, this always costs money. And how does that work out? Because I feel like someone's got to pay for it.
Yeah, so the city does charge permit holders for lights. So if they do light the fields, permit holders do, that cost gets passed on to permit holders. In terms of temporary lights, NYC Footy has offered to fund that because we can actually pay for those lights with a single season. And then the community can use it beyond then. So temporary lights, we do have leagues that are willing to fund that, and permanent lights is something that will ultimately be passed to the permit holder, which I think we'd all accept.
Yeah, keeping lights on longer, these leagues, how does it help the community?
Well, soccer is the fastest growing sport in the city, and it's also the most popular sport in the city by a factor of 7 to 1 in terms of the next most popular sport. It's growing at an insane clip. And so what you have is we have 60,000 members in our own community, but if you combine all communities, you're talking, over 100,000 people that are trying to access this sport in this city, and there is simply not enough access by far. So in terms of our 60,000 players, we can only accommodate not even a sixth of them in any given season. So we're oversubscribed. It would make a big difference, especially when you're talking about loneliness and people needing that physical and mental outlet. Not being available to them is it's a real problem.
You brought 2 jerseys here on the table. Explain to us what they mean and what it's from.
Yeah, so part of NYC Footy is we are a professional experience at the recreational level. We even have beginner leagues, so even if you've never kicked a ball before, or you trip over your own laces, you're going to be doing it in style, wearing a Paloma jersey, which is an official jersey. The artistry on it.
Yeah, I like that.
Is done by a popular Brooklyn artist named Duke Riley. So that is his artwork, and this one is signed by Mayor Mamdani himself, the white one. So
wait,
he goes by Z on the field.
Since you bring him up, before we go, was he good at soccer? And don't sugarcoat it.
He's more technically capable than I am, but I think I'm more of a physical presence than.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, hey,
you've got the presence. Okay.
We appreciate you coming on and chatting with us about this.
Yeah.
But hey, you got his number, so I feel like you got to do the work now.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean in on that idea. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Tarek, we did reach out to the mayor's office for a response, and they have not responded.
But we also don't have his cell phone number.
You do.
So.
Yeah.
Shoot him a text after this.
Shoot him a text. We'll see if it goes anywhere, and I'll tell him that you'll be up to it.
There we
Maybe
go.
don't drop our names.
Yeah.